Hey guys, it's Claude, and we have a deck opening today for Vault Boy 81. Good luck to you. This will be the final patron opening for a little while until later on this month. Eventually get to some decks that maybe I'll get to play with and see how they do. Alright, we have an Orange Archon. First house is Shadows. Star Alliance, very nice. And Brobnar, uh-oh. Let's hope you get a good brobnar here. Okay, and this looks like a mouthful. Baradwaj Tria's Homely Glove. Okay, it's a very unique and odd name. And that Archon has, is that like a lot of bubbles right here in the center of it? Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Never seen this pattern. We get a lot of new ones in here. It's very alien-like. All right, good luck to you. Be incredibly interesting to see if we can find a good brobnar. Right now, people are saying it is the weakest house of the set. And actually, some people I've been hearing, they say Shadows has gotten weaker as well. I don't know. After yesterday's video, I think Shadows is doing just fine. Alright, we're going to start off with Star Alliance is Ingram's Blaster. Upgrade, Amber Whenever you play it. This creature gains Fight Reap. You may deal 2 damage to a creature or attach it to Medic Ingram. After you attach it to the Medic, fully heal a creature. Okay, that could be interesting. Oh, actually, with Brobnar, if you get big creatures, completely healing a creature could actually be pretty big. What is this? Operations Officer Yichi. 4 power, 2 armor, taunt. Each of his neighbors gain Fight, Reap, Capture, and Amber. Okay, that's pretty cool. He's actually going to protect the neighbors that are capturing the Amber, so it's one more thing they have to get through, and with, once again, Brobnar in here, this could be a great card. General Order 2-4. It's an artifact. Oh, it's a lot of text. At the start of each player's turn, they must choose a creature they control and destroy each creature of the chosen creature's house. If that player has no creatures in play, destroy General Order 24 instead. You don't get much more anti-creature than this. This is destroying an entire house worth of creatures. I guess your goal here would be if you have creatures in each house, you just keep playing them and hope it's your opponent that runs out of creatures first. So they eventually have to destroy this, and then at the start of your turn, you actually have creatures out there to do things with. Its value is going to be determined on a deck-by-deck basis. Transporter Platform is an artifact. Amber, whenever you play it, action, return a friendly creature, and each upgrade attached to it to your hand. I love this artifact. I think it is so good inside of Star Alliance. You have the creatures that can be played as upgrades. Do you want more creatures? Return them off a creature you've already got the use out of, then play out more creatures. Do you have upgrades that give you Amber? Well, heck. Reap with the creature, get all those upgrades back into your hand, replay them for Amber. Can actually create a nice little Amber burst for a turn. Oh, speaking of which, here's Stunner. It's an upgrade. Amber, whenever you play it. This creature gains Fight Reap. You may stun a creature. I've got to play this card a few times. I actually like it quite a bit. The Amber's nice, and really the fact that this is a Fight Reap effect means you're more likely to activate it no matter what creatures you have on the board, or rather, what you need to do. Navigator Ali, 3 power, play Fight Reap. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck and put them back in any order. This card is great if you have cards that specifically involve the top of your deck, which seem to be pretty rare. A lot of times you are going to be playing 3 cards out of your hand, so this isn't doing too much because you're going to end up drawing those cards at the end of your turn anyway. Zap, 1 Amber whenever you play it. Deal 1 damage to a creature for each house represented among creatures in play. It's pretty sweet. Censor Chief Garcia, 3 power, play Fight Reap. Keys cost +2 Amber during your opponent's next turn. I love that this effect happens no matter what happens here, whether you played it for the first time or you fight or reap with it. Making your opponent's keys cost more Amber is just really good in Keyforge. Medic Ingram, 3 power, play Fight Reap. You may heal 3 damage from a creature and ward it. I'm sure by now most of you have played with this card. This is way, way better than it initially looks. If you get a deck with multiples of these, you can put a lot of hurt on your opponent. You can control their board much easier. You can protect your creatures against their board easier. This Medic is actually one of my favorite cards in Star Alliance for looking so plain and simple. Explo Rover is 3 power Skirmish, may be played as an upgrade, and gives the text, this creature gains Skirmish. 2 of those. Armmaster Molina, 4 power, Hazardous 3. Each of Armmaster Molina's neighbors gains Hazardous 3. Okay, and now we're on to Shadows. Weesand. 1 power, deploy Elusive. If Weesand is on a flank, destroy it. After a player forges a key, gain 2 Amber. You could drop this down, your opponent forges a key, you get 2 Amber. Let's say this bumps you up to key territory. Now on your turn, you're going to forge a key and then get 2 more Amber. This card could potentially be 4 Amber before you even get to use it. That is really, really cool. I hope we get a lot of creatures so we can prevent this thing from being on our flanks. Subtle Maul makes a return. It's an artifact action. Your opponent discards a random card from their hand. 2 of those. Okay, pretty good. Fidget is 2-power elusive. Reap, discard a random card from your opponent's archives or the top card of their deck. If that card is in action, play it as if it were yours. I know personally, whenever I go to archive cards, a lot of times I do choose situational actions. This card might have a higher odds of hitting actions. That's pretty good. Bren the Fanatic is 3-power skirmish. Play, your opponent gains 1 amber, destroyed, steal 3 amber, so we need to find a way to destroy this card in here. Kaimor Eclipse. Play, shuffle each flank creature into its owner's deck. Hit and Run. Deal 2 damage to a creature, return a friendly creature to your hand. This is one of the better cards of the set. Hopefully get some great things to use with it. Breaker Hill, 1-power elusive. Each of Breaker Hill's neighbors gains action, steal, and amber. Stealing amber is always powerful, and your opponent is going to have to get a card like this off the board. Bad Penny, 1-power destroyed. Return Bad Penny to your hand. Oh no, 2 bad pennies. Oh gosh. We haven't got anything really to use with it yet. Oh, once again, just like the last deck, it's Avinda coming in to save those bad pennies. 4-power Reap. Deal 1 damage to a creature. If this damage destroys that creature, your opponent discards a random card from their hand. At least you have 1 use for those bad pennies to make it where they're not always a dead draw. Oh, 2 of those. Oh my gosh, is it going to be 3 again? Come on. Oh no, we are on to, whoa, wait a minute, brobnar, but check this out. Narp's Brew. This is the first brew on the channel. Amber, whenever you play it, give a creature 2 +1 power counter. So that means we actually have Mega Narp in here. And having a 10-power creature, that is big. Imagine making it 12 power. And here it is, Mega Narp, 10 power, 1 armor. Mega Narp's neighbors cannot reap. One thing I want to point out with this card, I've noticed some opponents, they think he can't reap. Mega Narp itself can reap, just the neighbor can't. Do your best to keep this on a flank. What? Mega Alaka, 6 power. If you have used a creature to fight this turn, Mega Alaka enters play ready. That means we're going to have another brew in here. 2 brews inside of this Brobnar deck. That is awesome. Smith, Amber whenever you play, gain 2 amber if you control more creatures than your opponent. Slimy Jark, 1 power, skirmish, elusive, fight, enrage the creature, Slimy Jark fights. If this card would have had a higher power on it, I think it would have been better. Actually, maybe not even having the elusive would have made it pretty good. The only problem I see here with this card is if you enrage one of your opponent's creatures using a fight, you didn't reap with this, you didn't get an amber, right? So you do the fight, you enrage the creature, well they can just use that creature to fight back into Slimy Jark. It really doesn't do much other than you lost a reap and your opponent maybe lost a reap. I don't know, that's not so hot. Blood Money. Place 2 amber from the common supply on an enemy creature. Always good to see. Oh, and 2 of those. Awesome. Warrior's Refrain. Amber whenever you play it, stun each creature with power 3 or lower. Oh, and a normal Narp. 8 power, 1 armor. And once again, neighbors cannot reap. Groke. 5 power. Fight your opponent loses 1 amber. There's that Alaka's Brew. Amber whenever you play it also gives creatures 2 +1 power counters. And the last card of the deck is a normal Alaka. 4 power. And same as the Mega, if you use the creature to fight, it enters play ready. Okay, let's go back through this. I feel like there was a decent amount of creatures. Not sure how many crazy combos we had in here. Maybe the hit and run, we'll have to see what we can do with that. Let's go ahead and pull up the amber to start off. Okay, actually quite a bit of amber inside Brobnar. That's nice, and with huge creatures, so that's really cool. Shadows might have been a little bit light. Whoa, hold up. So the only one is maybe Weesand, and we can't really count that. I mean, also, Fanatic, we do have a way to kill it, which if you guys haven't noticed yet, I'll tell you in a moment. Let's see how Star Alliance does for Amber. Yeah, a couple here with the upgrades and things. Okay, not too bad. Let's count it up. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We might be able to count this. Let's go ahead and go for 7 for now, and we might have to adjust it later. Won't count this for anything. 8, 9, 11, 13, 15, 16, 17. Okay, 17. That's a great amber count. Let's get our amber control up here. Groke is good. Breaker Hill might be able to do something. Sensor. Oh, and you know what? Last card there, Operations. That will do it as well. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and that is it. 5 is okay. It's not great. I typically like to see around 6, so we're 1 less than I would normally like to see. But these are reusable, so it's not too bad. If you notice, all 5 of these cards are creatures. So we're forcing our opponent to have to deal with them, which is kind of amber control in itself if they're having to use creatures to fight it, because they're not going to be able to get a reap. So that's pretty good, and they don't want to necessarily fight the Brend. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the Brend. The first thing I noticed with it is this blaster. We can at least use it to do 2 damage, and then next time we reap or fight with the creature, do another 2 damage to kill Brend. It's slower. We can also take it out with a zap immediately. And then we also had the artifact all the way in the back here. Just going to look for anything else. As we move along toward it, okay, I guess maybe A Vindas could slowly chip it down. So maybe do the 2 damage with the upgrade and then pop it off with the A Vinda. But General Order 24, that's a great way to kill the Brend the Fanatic. Actually, the most reliable way to do it, so that's really nice to see in here. Speaking of which, let's pull up all the creatures. But I do feel like we had a decent amount of creatures in here. A nice variety of them between Reapers and Fighters. And of course, Bad Pennies, oh boy. Alright, let's count them up. 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, 21. That's a very nice count for creatures. Last couple decks we've opened have had at least 19, so that's really nice to see. God, these 2 Subtle Mauls. I'm a big fan of Subtle Maul. Actually, while we're looking at these, I just realized you could have a really just an absurd Shadows thing going on here. Check this out. Wait a minute. You have 2 Bad Pennies. You have 2 A Vindas, right? 2 Subtle Mauls. I mean, the likelihood of this happening is extremely low, but if you could set this up, you could make your opponent lose 4 random cards from their hand every single turn. How many answers can they really have for that? And even if they do maybe pop off 1 A Vinda, making them lose that many cards while also just looking at this right here, that's 4 amber you can get every single turn, because you can obviously reap with these Bad Pennies prior to killing them. That's kind of crazy. Let's see. I know we had 1 taunt in here. Let's see. It was the capture one. Yeah, the neighbor's capture. So, if you're going to protect anything with this taunt, it's going to have to be something like maybe the Medic Engram. I love putting this next to it, put the ward on the Operations Officer. Always keep it warded, that's always kind of a nice little thing to do. It's a smaller creature though, it doesn't have huge powers, so maybe you don't necessarily want to do that, but Fidget's a great card to put next to it. The Wee Sand could be pretty insane. Breaker Hill is very nice, and obviously Central Chief Garcia. Those are probably your best targets to put next to your taunt. And I guess if you do get the insane Subtle Maul A Vinda thing going on, that'd be a cool way to protect him, wouldn't that? Something else I kind of like, so if you don't think you're going to have to rely on this steal with Brend the Fanatic, let me show you something here. One of my favorite things to do with Brend is to give it things like upgrades, so it makes it more of a target. If my opponent just lets me keep Brend on the field, and I get all these additional effects from it, that's going to be a huge advantage. So maybe put like a Star Alliance upgrade on it. Where are you here? The Medic's Blaster, here we go, Ingram's Blaster. Being able to do the additional damage could be pretty nice. Even doing something like Fill in the Bruise, making this a 5 or 7 power skirmish creature that they don't want to destroy, can make it where your Shadows turns always has a nice removal, as well as doing the little tricks that you're calling Shadows for anyway. So keep in mind, when it comes to those brews, I love putting them on like the tiny creatures, the things they're not really expecting. Put on the Wee Sand, put on your taunt creatures just so they can survive a little bit longer. Definitely on something like Fidget and Breaker Hill, so it just can't be killed by an action card. Alright, Vault Boy 81, I hope you liked that deck. And I want to thank everyone for watching my videos as always, and I will see you next time.